Farm.
There we go.
And Pam, we met a few months ago, I guess it is now.
Yes, we did. Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for letting me join the call.
Yeah. We got one more minute and see who else joins, and then we can sort of do a round robin.
Is the historic Sugartown person, is that Barry?
Yes.
Hey Barry, I just want to say hi. I've been meaning to
Hi.
connect with you. We're
bet.
your neighbor at Willistown Township.
Great. I've got some questions for you.
Yeah.
I want to start a fire in May, a big fire, and I think I need a township approval for that.
Yeah, we'll talk more offline.
We've got a project coming in called Her Story, which is a women's history reenactment.
Okay.
And they're going to do cooking displays in a pit. So
it's a good kind of fire.
Yeah, it's a good kind of fire.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll talk. We can talk offline later today or next week.
Yeah, I'll stop in next week.
Okay, wonderful.
And Ann McNally has just joined us.
Yes, I had to unmute and show my camera. Hi, everybody. I've been wanting to join you guys since October, but life got in the way.
We get it. So where are you from?
I live in Birmingham Township.
Oh,
my interest in this actually is rooted in racial justice. I was talking to Mary Moskowitz about doing things in Chester County, increasing awareness around racial justice. She suggested this group would be a great place to start. And then I talked to Karen at Chad's 4 Days, and she also encouraged me. So I've been a community volunteer for 30 years in Newcastle County and Chester County.
So it's 12:01. So let's start because we have an hour. And I think one of the goals here is to really solidify some plans, what you're planning for 2026. We have Emily who's going to take it all down. And Beth, and we put it on our calendar. We have a whiteboard that runs, and you can access it through the website. We really have to get concrete here about what you're thinking and planning, because the running room is getting shorter and shorter. And I know that much of Chester County is 1777 and 78. But as we are working on our infrastructure, we also have to have events, I think. So let's start, since you're right next to me, Barry, let's start with you.
Sure. So our earliest building on the property is 1805. So we really don't delve too much into the history. So what we're going to focus on is the next 100 years, especially what happens to agricultural production and the changing in the landscape, because that really dramatically changes in Willistown Township in terms of what we look like, how we act and act as a part of the larger Philadelphia Westchester connection, and what people are doing. So changing in farming technique, everything from changing agricultural techniques to the way we process goods and the way we transport goods back and forth.
And your women's project sounds also very interesting.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes this year. I'm looking forward to it. It's new for us, so it'll be interesting to see how well it goes and if we can do it each year.
Okay, great.
Because that's a big part of our story here too, is women's history, especially within all of Willistown Townships. Women have played a big part in running businesses and being in charge and ownership of property.
Mm-hmm. So how about you, Jennifer? Is Willistown planning a signature 2026 event?
Well, I just got assigned as a staff liaison, so there's nothing in the works right now. I have talked a bit with Bart von Valkenburg, who's really knowledgeable We talked about maybe somehow pairing with Malvern Borough and Sugartown, because or historic Sugartown, because we're all right near each other. But honestly, this is just the starting point for us, unfortunately. But
Do you need contacts in Malvern Borough at all?
Bart gave me a big list, and I am joining their upcoming meeting. So I am well connected through Bart. So, but thank you.
That's great. And they're also connecting to the King Street Improvement District there.
Okay, wonderful.
So you might want to ask who that person is.
King Street, that's the only one he didn't tell me. King Street Improvement District. All right,
Mhm.
I will do that as well.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so welcome, Jennifer.
thank you.
Okay, and Ranger Adam, I forgot that I met you at Thornberry Farm.
Yes, yeah, and actually, I would say Jen McMenamin can weigh in as well. She's also representing Valley Forge here on this call. So our planning is continuing on. There's Jen right there. She's coming online. Our planning for what's essentially becoming a 3-year period of commemoration for us is continuing on steadily. Right now, we're actually doing the direct event planning for our march out this year for 2025, which falls on June 14th, which is the 250th anniversary of the creation of the United States Army. So there's a lot of events going there. There's a big thing that's being hosted by the Army proper in Philadelphia. They are having some VIPs, so like generals, possibly some members of the Defense Department out at Founding Forward near our property, and they're looking for some sort of tour with the Park Service on the 13th. Then we're doing our march out, which is normally a yearly event for us. It's the commemoration of Washington's Army leaving Valley Forge, but this year we're theming it with marching out into the future, 250 years of the U.S. Army. So that's our very direct sort of coming up thing right now. And then we're putting together a lot of the plans for 2026, which is not only the 250th of the United States, but also the 50th anniversary of Valley Forge becoming a national park. So we're finalizing our actual day of July 4th programming. We're centering it around a thing similar to a rally held by Anna Morris Holstein in 1878 to drum up support for purchasing Washington's headquarters with the intent of saving it. We're also, so we're looking for an Anna Morris Holstein impersonator. We're also going to be recreating the stage, if you will, that President Ford signed the park into existence. We kind of cheekily are thinking about trying to find someone who looks like Gerald Ford to walk around a little bit that day. We're one of our partners, the Valley Forge Park Alliance, is going to be working with the Washington Memorial Chapel. They're going to be one of the houses of declaration, which Jen McMenamin can talk quite a bit about. They're going to be reading the Declaration of Independence, hopefully with a corresponding carillon concert from the chapel or some other
How
event with the
beautiful.
chapel or well. So that's what we're going on. Plus, then we're also like delving into communication, and not communication, transportation solutions, because we've got only so many parking spaces. We don't want to have cars lined up down 422, and we know that we're going to be a destination. I mean, we're one of your gateways, so we want to make sure that we can handle what we think is going to be a pretty big influx of people. So
Karen and
That's-
I have a conversation scheduled with Rose Fennell.
excellent. Yeah, my
Superintendent.
boss.
Yeah, we have a conversation. I think it's next week that we're
Okay.
talking with
Yeah,
her.
I
and
think I might be invited to that one. Is that
the Dare to
Friday
Declare.
at like 11 o'clock?
Yes,
Yep, I'm going to be in that
Good.
conversation as well.
that would be great.
So
Jen, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Thanks for having me here. So yeah, as Adam pointed out, I'm a retired National Park Service employee that they asked to come back and kind of help out with this whole 50th birthday for the park, Valley Forge Park, and then be a liaison for the 250th. So I just wanted to kind of let you know I'm working with Montgomery County, and I think you guys have all heard of this from what they told me is the Houses of Declaration. houses in the area, and it doesn't need to be historic necessarily. But in 2026, for the 4th of July weekend, you know, where would the information been dispersed to the public and a reading of the Declaration of Independence? Montgomery County has started kind of pulling the sites together. They're currently getting ready to send out a blast email to all of their participants for the Tourism and Convention Board to see who would like to participate.
Right, we're working with both Delco and Montco, and so we'll be jumping on this as well. And just
Okay.
for everybody else, so the Dare to Declare is the reading of the Declaration of Independence publicly, which is how it was done when the Declaration was originally signed. I say that, Heather, with great authority, but Heather's our historian.
And I'm
So,
just coming back from being on leave, so yeah.
Right, so I think this is going to,
Yeah.
and I think this will create a lot of public interest, actually.
yeah, so we do too. So I think I see my role here in parts as kind of like the middleman and the liaison to help Chester County, Montgomery County from the park perspective, making sure that we're kind of all on the same page, because you know the general visitor that comes to Valley Forge Park isn't going to know the line between Chester County and Montgomery County. So how can we make sure that all that information is getting disseminated to all areas for the special events that are happening?
And Jen, do we have your email because you're a new arrival?
You should,
Okay,
but I will put it
Put it in the
somewhere
put it in the chat. That would be
in
helpful.
the chat. Absolutely.
Right, and then I can make sure we have it. And when I talk to our partners, Andrea and Eli,
Okay.
Montgomery and Delco.
Okay, perfect.
Okay,
I look forward to working with you all.
okay. Daniel Campbell, are you there?
I am here,
Oh, good. Yes. And you're representing,
Westtown Township.
oh, great. So we've got Jennifer from Willistown Township.
I actually live in Westtown, so hi.
Hello. I'm a member of the Historical Commission there.
Excellent.
It's not very strong. We don't actually have an ordinance to do anything, but
But hopefully you're planning a fabulous event for 2026.
well, we are working on that. We've recently started a quarterly lecture program open to the public about historical items, and we've had three of them so far with outside speakers and one or two with our own.
And how's attendance going?
It was very good for the typical speeches, between 30 and 40 people on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good.
However, we advertised one for the public to come and learn about the 250 and publicized that a few different ways and to our other commissions in the town, environmental and parks and rec and those kind of things. And we got one person come from the public.
Oh, wow.
But that was, I think it was in December, so it was not.
So are you sending your information over to Beth at the Chester County Community Foundation? Because we can amplify your message.
I'm not the publicity person. We have a person on our commission who's a website maker, and he takes care of all that. And I think he does advertise at several places. But
Okay.
anyway, that's a result of that. And one supervisor did come to the meeting. As a result of that, the supervisors have suggested that we not try to handle this as the historical commission, but create a separate task force that's going to guide the township's programs for the 250 and try to draw people from each one of the other commissions in the town, as well as members of the public who might be interested to be on such a task force. So that's where we were in December, and I don't know that it's has progressed any farther than that right now. But
is there anything we can do to help you along?
no, I don't think so. I go to these meetings and other programs by the 250 PA in Chester County, so I report back to the commission and the supervisors.
Okay.
Put it mildly, we have a very involved, let's say, board of supervisors. They pretty much like to control everything.
Okay.
So it's hard to do anything, it's hard to do anything or say anything without their permission or approval first, so.
Okay. So Ann McNally, how are you this morning?
Moving slowly. Hi, everybody. Today I'm here just to listen.
Okay.
I'm new. I have nothing to offer. I want to see what's going on. I don't know how I might be able to help. Um, I just don't know. So,
And are you
I,
connected to our website with the events and opportunities?
well, I've been out there. I had some trouble getting the invitation to today's meeting, but Emily's been terrific. Thank you, Emily, and help in getting me hooked up. So I'm just getting up to speed. I mean, I'm really literally at the walking pace. So yeah,
Mhm.
but
I'd
I'm good.
encourage
I
you to,
got a lot of materials at
good.
Chad's 4 days. Yeah.
Oh, good, good, good.
So we'll
Who are you
see
with, Anne?
how I can help.
Super.
Who are you with, Anne?
Sorry, I keep turning myself off. I represent myself.
But where do you live?
I live in Birmingham Township. Yeah, as I
Uh-huh.
said in my introduction, I worship at Westminster Presbyterian Church, which is how I got very heavily involved with racial justice. I also work with two other Presbyterian churches on racial justice, Paoli Pres and Phoenixville.
And
So
you have
it's my
Birmingham meeting right
avocation.
there too.
Well, yeah, I have no connection with them, but what I call the Association of Presbyterian Churches, Donegal Presbytery, which covers York, Lancaster, and Chester County, has a very large a group of people working on racial justice. I'm actually the communications director for that effort.
Okay.
So I've been working on this for about 6 years. So whether it's going to fit here, I don't know. I don't know how much bandwidth because I'm also involved with a couple other organizations in the county.
Okay.
So we'll
So,
see.
Mitrice, did I pronounce that correctly? Matrice? Okay, well, maybe she'll join us. So
Maybe
Pam,
Murtis?
Unmute. Now, can you hear me?
yes, did I massacre your name?
Well, you did, but it's Penny Hunt. That's who this is. So you know that.
Okay.
And so this is French and Pick and our Bentley Preserve with wonderful Warwick ruins.
Mhm.
You don't see a visual of me, do you?
No.
Okay, good. And so I'm just listening too. I think I need to get with Jay Erb. We don't have a staff for this kind of thing, but we have a lot to offer. And
Mhm.
so I'm trying to figure out where we will fit in with all of this.
And we do talk to Ranger Jay a lot.
Yes, I saw he was there at the last meeting, I think. I'm sorry I didn't get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Lori and Pam, you're also connected, correct?
No.
So Pam, did you want to introduce yourself and we could talk?
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pam Villagra. I'm with the Foxman Foundation. My patrons are the Bentley family. Of course, I think they're known for their deep roots in philanthropy here in Chester County. My reason for participating today, obviously, is to learn more, to further, educate myself on the topic, but also because we've received several requests for funding from various nonprofits. And of course, I've been contacted by Angela and her team. So excited to support and be a part of this any way we can, but just really looking to have some more clarity, on the things that are happening and how things are going to evolve in the next year and a half.
Mm-hmm. And Lori?
I'm kind of in the same boat as Pam, looking to again involved with the Bentley family Justamere Foundation. I think our contribution will be our connections and kind of helping to make things happen, that we don't have a, a geography or an organization that's actually going to be doing a program.
Mhm.
Makes sense.
So I just now that we've all introduced ourselves, I'll maybe give an update just from the Chester County Community Foundation perspective. We've been very active working with our nonprofit partners like the Paoli Battlefield folks. It was a real collaboration between the three nonprofit or the three organizations that run that site, the Memorial Park, the battlefield, and the township. So we submitted a grant to the state for about $500,000 to fund a heritage center at the site. And the primary reason for the heritage center there, aside from being a sort of a part of the connection of the network, was to bring that memorial that's there inside. It's the second memorial, Revolutionary War memorial in the United States, and it's really showing its wear and tear. They've put a plexiglass cover over it to try to preserve it, but it's not attractive at all, and you can't really read it. So the goal would be to build the Heritage Center. It would be a part of the Heritage Information Network, and then it would house the memorial, as well as some other things from the historic battlefield. Interestingly, Paoli is the only historical asset that's connected to SEPTA. It's walking distance. Right. So we also worked with Chad's Ford to apply for a heritage center, which would be adjacent to the Historical Society. And we worked with Chadsford Township and the Chadford Historical Society to submit that grant. And again, it's about I think $300,000 that would build that center. It's meant to serve as a gateway to that area, and there's so many things down there to see, not just historical, but the museum and various other things. So it would serve as an anchor in that sector. So the reason I'm saying all of these things is that when I know that Beth sends out information to people, and we often provide links to grant opportunities. We participated in a PHMC and Heather, maybe you can say what PHMC does.
Uh, sure. Sorry, I'm still kind of getting back in the swing after being out for a little bit. But PHMC is the Pennsylvania Historical Museum Commission, and those of you with historic sites like Barry probably are well aware that they provide various, some technical resources for historic sites and museums throughout the county, or throughout the state rather, and they also have grants. The size of the grants have kind of ebbed and flowed over the years, but they predominantly give grants out for, they have the Keystone grants that are for preservation of historic sites. Usually, I believe you have to be a National Historic Register site to do that. They also have other kinds of planning grants, and they also work with the archives to have archival preservation grants as well. So I think that's it in the nutshell. They also work with heritage, the Heritage Marker Program, and getting folks on the National Historic Register as well.
So it's worth exploring some of those things, and if you need help, then contact us.
Yeah.
And myself or Heather, because we can help you navigate that.
Yeah, if you've never done the grant applications before, I can certainly help with that too.
And the same with the DCED grants. There's various different ones, and sometimes it's helpful to have another voice. I know that the Goshenville Blacksmith Shop also applied for a grant for signage, and they want to put in a pad for the kiosk that we're talking about, a kiosk system that would, link various historic assets. And the goal is so that we're not all talking like this, we're talking like this. Excuse my hand language. So,
Angela, may I ask a quick question?
yeah.
Awesome, thanks. Again, kind of just joining this call, to be further educated. But I know that, obviously this is the Chester County committee and people who are trying to support this movement. I'm positive that you guys are connected with other, smaller initiatives as well. I'm just wondering, what does success look like to you guys? I mean, is it in terms of metrics? Are we talking about the number of visitors, the number of buildings or historical sites erected, the number of events, the number of funds raised? What does success look like for this campaign?
Anybody want to answer that before I do? Well, I will say success looks like increased visitors, and an increase in our, we always call it a tourism economy. We have all of these assets. Not only do we want visitors, but we want residents to be aware of them, of what's in their backyard. And we have so many new residents who are completely unaware of what the foundation of the county really, was and is. And we're also looking at some infrastructure improvements, signage, apps, maps, and of course the kiosks, the Heritage Information Network, to be filled out. Did I get that right, Heather?
Yeah,
So
thank
yeah,
you.
a lot of, the legacy of Chester County 250 and America 250 too, to an extent, is to, you know, bring more visibility to our heritage sites and organizations, and help with the infrastructure, like Angela said, and capacity. Make sure everyone has the resources they can work with, and make that a lasting thing. And then that's been an ongoing issue for our heritage sites for a long time. It's getting the support and that they need, and getting the things in place that helps them sustain themselves and become important and valuable in their communities.
Signage, take as an example, signage. I mean, if you're a visitor, how do you know where to go?
Right.
I mean, you can put it on your GPS, but it would be nice to have a sign that you see it. So I live up here in Wayne, and the Paoli battlefield, I only, after living here for 40 years, only was like, oh, there's a sign. There's the last time signage was addressed for all of these historic assets was the bicentennial. So we'd like to do that. We'd love to get these apps so that we're more modern in terms of our, I mean, so Gramps in the front can have the map, but the kid in the back has the app and knows what he's reading. I put QR codes on the signs, things like that. That to me is success. We're also talking about some untold stories. I'm looking at Ann McNally when I say this. The Underground Railroad, active partner. And it's the unfinished business of liberty and justice for all
Right.
now, even now.
Yeah.
So I think that
I'm glad, yeah. Angela, I'm glad you mentioned my name, if I can interject, because I do want to offer two things. The other group, I think, is called Voices Underground.
yes,
I can't remember the, yeah.
yes.
I saw him make a presentation at Calvin University 2 years ago, and he's very exciting. But it is that awareness. I mean, prime example. I was just looking at the minutes. You guys have been around since 2022. If I hadn't have talked to Marion in the borough in November, I never would have heard about you guys.
Yeah.
So I think success, the perfect question is, what does success look like? There's not an awareness among folks like me that you guys even exist. That's not a shot. That's just an opportunity. I see it as an opportunity.
Mhm.
And I know that takes money, but you're a well-kept secret.
Yeah. So
So,
I was going to also introduce Stephen Marvin. How are you, Stephen? Who are you with? You're on mute.
Thank you very much. I've missed a few meetings. I'm sort of an independent person interested in writing a little pamphlet to encourage participation and trying to give ideas of what they can do through studying the history of the colonial period. So hopefully it'll serve only as a toolkit, but I'm excited about what you're saying about encouraging visits, but also there are efforts being made to encourage participation. I signed up to be a judge for National History Day that I believe is sponsored by the organization, called it the Chester County Historical Society. One of my artworks was accepted for the bells, the Pennsylvania bells
Oh,
across.
how exciting.
Oh,
Mhm.
cool.
So I thought that was an interesting project. They're looking for sponsors for that. And what you do is create a bell and they put the picture on the bell, encouraging.
It's made of like PVC.
Yes, yeah. So it's not really a functional heavy
Yeah.
metal. I saw today in neighbors discussing the idea of interest and participation in all these activities is from the Shiloh Black Graveyard in Westtown. They apparently had a big hearing and there was a lot of discussion about it. There seemed to be reluctance from the Westtown supervisors, but they're pushing and encouraging people to participate and create a marker, sort of a branding marker for black graveyards, not only in just the Westtown Shiloh grave site, but other grave sites throughout the area. So I'm here to encourage you to do what you're doing, and I'm sorry I'm not more of a major, center participant, but I'm just rooting.
And thank you, Stephen. How are you distributing your materials?
I haven't created it yet. I've been working on editing things. Hopefully have it done. I hope to, distribute it as a pamphlet or maybe a website.
Well, please send it to us.
Okay, yeah,
so that we can promote it and put it on our website as well.
Thank you. Again, it's in editing phases.
Okay. And Leslie, you've also just joined us?
Yes, hi. Yeah, I'm with I'm president of the Chester County Concert Band. So, we're hoping to be able to be participating in lots of celebrations next year. We actually got our first booking, which is great, for the end of May, with the East Goshen, West Goshen celebration they're going to have. I mean, it's not in writing, but we were pretty much told that that we would be asked to play in that. So yeah, so we're excited about that, and we just hope to get more.
Do you want us to put your information on our website and in our publications so that we can drive people to?
Leslie does a good job with that. I will say.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it should be on there, I think.
Good.
It should be.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, any promotion is good. So.
Okay.
There's a member of the band, so.
Yeah.
So, Pam, did we answer your question about what success looks like?
Yes, thank you. Definitely have a better idea. The only other question I have is on the website. You guys, there's so much information on here, so kudos to you guys. But on the website for, I guess it's the 250 site, there's a lot of events on here. Forgive me if I'm being dense, but these are 2025 events, right? So why are they listed? This is right, because we're celebrating, shouldn't these events be for 2026?
The events are events happening now, and they have to do with America 250. So even, leading up to the celebration, there's not one celebration, there's many programs, everything related to agriculture and untold stories, and different groups doing different things at different times. And we're highlighting all of that on the website. And the website's part of the piece that, everyone can go to one place to find all of the happenings, all of the different community events. And it might tie into 250 through like an arts and culture type of angle. It might not be specifically for 250, but it's still part of the umbrella of highlighting Chester County related arts and culture related programs or community wide initiatives that we want to celebrate.
And it's going to, especially in Chester County, as Valley Forge Park noted, that for us, 1777 and 78 are big landmarks. Ranger Adam, did you want to say something about that?
Well, I was going to say too, just in a national scale, the Revolutionary War started in 1775. So, like, myself and one of my staff were going up to support events in Massachusetts this year. So that's because that's where the fighting broke out. Also, both the Army, the Navy, and the Marine Corps are all celebrating their 250th birthdays this year. The Army, in particular, they've got a big to do in downtown Philadelphia on Independence Mall. Like, they're going to be landing helicopters and all that sort of stuff. The Navy, the Navy and the Marines are kind of combining it together into one big sort of party, and they're calling it like Homecoming 250th. And they're looking to bring a whole bunch of ships to be out on the Delaware River of different eras of naval service. Somebody is rebuilding Tun Tavern, which was the bar that the Marine Corps was created in downtown Philadelphia. So, like, in a lot of ways, like, yes, there's the 250th of July 4th, 2026, but that is one sort of commemorative point in what is becoming a constellation of commemorative dates regarding this. Like I said, Valley Forge, our period of commemoration is going all the way until June of 2028. For sites down south, it's going as far as like 2030, 2031, 2032. So that's why
Ranger
you're
Adam,
seeing stuff for this year.
I meant to ask you if you're talking with Duper Tie House.
Duper Tie House. We talk with them every now and then. Oh, and I know we share a couple volunteers. So I haven't heard anything too concrete from them, but if they're feeling lonely, we can reach out to them.
For sure, I'll connect you, because I think it just for the benefit of the group, the Duper Tie House is the founder of the Army Corps of Engineers was Duper Tie, and so and they actually have a tunnel under the is it under the Turnpike or 202 that leads into Valley Forge Park?
So there is like a bridge that goes under the Turnpike that goes in that you can access the park. It's not that that's more of like a PennDOT owns that or something. Yeah. It's not Duport Tie House's like own little secret tunnel or anything.
I think it's very cool, and I thought it was their secret tunnel.
Yeah, no, unfortunately it's not.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good. So I'll connect you with the Duper Tie, Rob Williams. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Anything else for the good of the order? If you need help, reach out. There's a lot of opportunities, and please do check our website. I think one of the other things we'd like to see is aside from our building of our tourism economy and building up of our tourism infrastructure and historic sites, is the use of our website as a resource for all of you, and please feel free to reach out. Anything else for the good of the order, except that we all warm up? Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, everyone.
And go Eagles.
Yes, go Eagles. Once again.